out loud like that is a little different than thinking it in your mind, you know? Makes it a little more real. Sorry, it just hit me.
I'm Eric Gunderson, born and raised in Santa Cruz, California. I am the father of two amazing girls. I have an amazing wife. I'm very grateful for my life. I started very young, painting helmets, making skimboards, doing anything I could to be creative. I didn't always have the best example growing up of health and fitness. I saw that and I chose the antithesis. Mountain biking, surfing, snowboarding, rock climbing, you name it. I ate up every single sport that I possibly could. I was always the guy that cramped up, and so what I would do is I'd eat a bunch of carbs and sugar to come back to life. But I kind of found this repeated pattern of exerting myself and then hitting a wall. I never understood what was going on in my body. I would say that I was chronically dehydrated at a young age. I never drank enough water. Being from Santa Cruz, that's where CrossFit started. CrossFit really exposed me to a different way of life and training than I had ever seen before. Another reason why CrossFit is the perfect match for me is because I'm ultra competitive with just about everything. I've been competitive with it at the Open for, I would say, at least 10 years. But I never ended up getting out of like the top 500 to 700 range. My coach was like, how much salt are you consuming every day? I'm like, none. I don't know, it's in my food. And so he turned me on to the idea of salt. And I noticed a huge shift in my recovery. And I trained really hard for 2.5 months. I was able to really jump up, many spots to 58th in the world. So a little backstory on me is I was number 3 at LifeAid Beverage Company. Most people know it as FitAid. We started the company 15 years ago, and the goal was to create a better for you product than existed back then. You didn't have a lot of great options. People were putting all this junk and garbage, artificial flavors, colors, and sweeteners in. At LifeAid, we created a product that was much better for you, still a great product and still a great company. We did a great job in putting supplements for recovery, our immune system, for focus. But when I stepped away from LifeAid about 5 years ago, I started thinking about minerals. I have reverse osmosis under my sink. I've got a whole house water filtration system. By the time the water hits my body, it's basically stripped of everything. So I did some digging and found out that one of the companies that I trusted and people that I trusted the most used a GMO maltodextrin, which is a flavor carrier. I said, well, wait a second, I don't do GMOs. That's against my ethos. I have been consuming organic food and non-GMO food for 20 years now. I realized that if I'm gonna consume this stuff, I'm gonna have to make it myself because I live a different life. I live a clean life. And that's when Fortified really became a vision. I started to talk to some friends about it, see if anyone was interested in doing it with me. I got some interest and suddenly momentum started to build. I woke up one morning and I noticed a lymph node in my neck was really sore. And every day it kind of grew and got bigger and bigger until it got to the size of a racquetball in my neck. And I was like, I need to go see a doctor. Well, we went through the process and discovered that I have cancer. That was quite a roadblock for me in starting a company, training for the 2026 CrossFit Games, and now I'm dealing with cancer. So that wasn't part of the plan. At first I was shocked, and then I was scared. I was all the emotions you can imagine when you get the call. Pretty quickly afterwards, I realized that I had been preparing for this moment for 25 years. I had an epiphany The time to start fighting cancer isn't when you get it. The time to start fighting for your life is now. When I got the call, I started at the top of the mountain. A lot of times, unfortunately, when people get the call, they're somewhere else on that mountain. It's not just about where are you on that mountain physically, but where are you on that mountain emotionally, and where are you on that mountain spiritually? Those are the three things I would love to empower people to take inventory of and improve. I am a living testament to when those three things are aligned, and instead of being a victim like I was prior to where like my first instinct would have been like, why me? Like, this is awful, you know, this is happening to me, to this is happening for me. I don't know what the lesson is, I don't know why, but this is happening for me, and how do I get through this? And then when I brought in my faith through prayer and through my community, I was able to go from scared and worried to empowered and grateful. About 6 weeks ago, I made it to the other side of cancer and surgery. We got the results back, and it's clean. What I later realized was fear is nothing more than a choice. And when you can choose the opposite of fear, you can do almost anything with your life. I'm Eric Gunnarsson. I am now a cancer survivor. I am a CrossFit athlete. I'm a man of faith, and I'm starting Fortified Brands.